Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. On today's DIY Wednesday video, we're tackling this. Remember, Stacy and I found this on the side of the road? Yep, today I am going to try and make it look a little bit cuter and get it moved into the house. So, what's the plan for this puppy? Well, I had seen in the past ombre painting furniture, and I've never tried it, and I thought, that looks kind of cool. I kind of want to give it a try. So, when I was perusing the Google images, I stumbled upon this photo, and I was like, ooh, that looks pretty cool. And my plan is to put this in Davis's room, and that room is green. So I thought, yeah, let's do some green that goes into another green that goes into some yellow to have a pop of color. When I clicked on the image, the gal that was responsible for ombreing this piece of furniture that I found, it took me to her blog. She described everything in great detail. Some of the stuff I didn't really agree with. Like, I feel like she used like 6 or 7 paint colors, whereas I was like, I think that can be done in 4. Thankfully, Editor John did some amazing Photoshop work, and he was able to pick out the 4 main colors that were used in her piece. He gave me little swatches on my phone so that when I went to the paint store, I had something to match against. Thank you to Editor John, because I don't know how I would have picked these paint colors otherwise. So I went to the paint store, and these are the colors I am going with. Some of them aren't an exact match to the swatches that Editor John sent me, but I think when they're all together like that, this color combination looks pretty good. So I went ahead and had the Lowe's mix me up their chalk paint, which is just by Krylon. It was their cheapest version of chalk paint that they had. And since I had to buy 4 colors, I wanted to go as cheap as possible because each one of these costs $24. So I'm into it for $100 in paint alone. Thankfully, this piece was free on the side of the road because I don't want to put that much more money into it. So we've got $100 in paint. I need to clean it. I need to lightly sand it. And then we need to try and ombre it. So you know the drill. If you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times. I am going to take off the hardware. I like this hardware. I'm just probably gonna try to wash it and then reuse it. Lightly sand it. There's a bunch of stickers on this side I have to take off. Then clean it. And because it's a super hot day, I'm hoping I could drag it into the house and then ombre paint it in the nice air-conditioned house. But we'll see about that. There's also this issue when I first picked this piece up. I feel like it was sitting a little bit in the gutter. And so this side here was kind of wet. It's had plenty of time to dry out. So when I sand it, I'll have to see if there's any damage that I need to repair. I'm hoping that I could just sand it and paint over it and we'll be done. Let me get to work on cleaning this puppy up. Okay, so it looks like this color is not the original color. I accidentally sanded down through the veneer, which I didn't really want to do, but there was a sticker here and it was very hard to get off. And there is a dark brown wood veneer, kind of like along here. I scraped the paint off of this base with my paint scraper and definitely have some brown veneer going on underneath this white. I do want to be careful when sanding that I don't do this to other locations. Now, I'm not trying to strip this off completely. I did have to go a little ham on this side because of the sticker situation. I still have some stickiness that I need to sand off down in this area. But once I get this side clean, I'm just gonna lightly scuff sand and clean off the rest of it. Now, the front with all the ornateness, that's gonna kind of be a little bit of a bitch to sand. So I'll probably just fast and quick and loose just so that the paint has something to grip onto. But since this is chalk paint, it should grip onto just about anything. So fingers crossed on that one. Yeah, let me keep sanding. Okay, so I've sanded it, I've cleaned it inside and out. I sanded it with just 120 grit. I cleaned it with some soapy water and then I rinsed it off with regular water. And what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, which is gonna add an extra step for me, but I think it's gonna be the best because I do have a little bit of my Beyond paint left. I'm gonna water this down and do an all over wash in the white Beyond paint because there's a lot of, which I like, but I think for the gradation look, we need to kind of tone down all of these all of the black, you know, whatever. If I water this down, quickly just get it all one color as best as I can, so we have a very blank, fresh and clean slate to start our gradient paint job. I think that's gonna be the best. Plus, I'm hoping, because I couldn't get into all of the little nooks and crannies sanding, so I'm hoping that this watered down will also act as a little bit of a primer, maybe locking in everything that's here and then hopefully locking on our gradient paint job. Yeah, I think that's the best course of action. I don't want to really do an all-over coat of paint, but I want this to stand the best chance possible, so I think I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna water whatever's in here down, paint it on. Okay, so I did 2 coats of my paint wash and I actually didn't have that much of the white Beyond paint. So I mixed it with some beige chalk paint that I already had and water. And I did 1 coat where I brushed it on and then I came back with a 2nd coat where I stippled it on. The only thing you have to be careful about that is it's really watery. So just make sure you stipple out any drip marks you may get. I think all of the color is evened out and ready to begin the gradient, which I can't do it right now because it's not super dry. Plus, I also want to bring it in the house. But next up, gradient painting. Fingers crossed I can pull it off. I pulled the piece in the house. It's kind of a tight space, but I'd rather work in a cramped, tight space than a hot-ass garage. So I kind of skimmed over the blog and it seems like she started with the front, divided her piece into the 4 quadrants for the colors, did all of this, and then went back and painted the top. But I think I'm gonna tweak that a little bit. And I'm gonna start with the top and then bring the top down. I do have to divide this. I have 4 colors to work with. So I need to divide from top to bottom into 4ths. And I'll kind of put a little bit of tape just to give me an idea of where I want one color to blend into the next color. I've never done this before, but I'm not nervous about it. I think it's gonna be more about finesse than anything else. I do have a container full of water plus these containers, so I can pour a little bit of paint in here with a little bit of water, mix it up. I want to use a watered down-ish chalk paint. Plus I have a spray bottle of water because when you're getting to where the colors are needing to blend, you want to keep that paint real wet and blend it in together. Again, I think it's gonna be more about finesse than anything else. Yeah, I'm gonna start top down. And so my top is this mustardy kind of a yellow that will go into this lighter yellow that will then go into the lighter green, which will then finish off at the very bottom with the darker green. I thought I was prepared with all my supplies, but I did not bring in a measuring tape or painter's tape. So let me go do that and we'll start with the top. Okay, so I have all of my spacing taped off as a guide. I taped it on each of the ends and then I did the middle too. The whole height was about 26, so each color band is gonna be about about 6.5 inches. So I'm going to be wearing gloves. I just feel like this is gonna be messy. I put paper down. I didn't put anything on the wall, so I'll just be careful. I do have this pulled away from the wall about that much, so I'll be careful. Let's shake up our first color, which is the deeper yellow. We're gonna pour it off a little bit into one of these, and we're gonna add some water. No ratio, I'm just gonna eyeball it. And then I'm gonna be painting the whole thing with a paintbrush, not a roller. I'm also just gonna paint right over the hinges. Don't even care. Katja does it all the time. So if she can do it, so can I. Ooh. Oh, shit's bright. I don't know, guys. Oh, you know what I didn't bring in? Something to stir with. I'll use my paintbrush. I'm already dripping on me. I have that much paint. Again, I don't know. I'm guesstimating. And now I'm gonna put in some water. Oh yeah, it looks pretty watery. Pretty thinned out, probably a little too thinned out. We'll see how it goes on. But we do want it watery for the blend, so just be careful because it's really watery. All right, let's start painting. First coat is done. I actually did 2 coats on the very, very top, and I'm looking and I'm like, am I gonna have to do 2 coats? And I might. So the first coat is gonna be us getting used to the finesse of the gradation in the ombre. And then the second coat will make it better, is what I'm thinking in my head. So I have my second color, which is the lighter yellow, mixed up. I rinsed my brush out, but I didn't clean it all the way because I wasn't gonna waste time cleaning it when it's gonna just be yellow and yellow mixed together. So now we finesse. So I'm gonna remove my tape line here because this next color is gonna start from here and go to the top of this tape line, and then we'll get to finessing, starting with this side right here. Let's not forget, I don't really know what I'm doing. What I imagine is we need to kind of like spray bottle this part to kind of get it reactivated and wet again. Let's just see what happens here. So we're just gonna blend. That might have been a little too much water. Again, coat 1. We're practicing. We'll fix it during coat 2. Part of me also thinks, do I need to take my other yellow, which I put saran wrap on and just put out of reach so I didn't knock it down? Do I need to like have that going, or can I just work it with this? You know what I mean? Let me get far back. Light sprays. Like, how do I don't think that's the trick. We don't want it to look like stripes. So that's why part of me is thinking, do I get my other yellow and try to blend it a little bit better? Let's grab it. Let's see. And then that makes me think, do I need to have 2 paintbrushes going? Remember, it's about finesse. Okay, very, very lightly. Go like this, maybe? Blend that together a little bit better. Spritzy spritz. And a little bit more blending. Oh, this, nightmare. I can already see it. Nightmare. I'm liking it. I'm liking where it's going. Maybe we won't need to do 2 coats because of all the blending, so that might be nice. And we know we're gonna do more light here when we're blending with the lighter green. I don't know. I say we leave that for now, and we might revisit it here in a minute. Okay. I think having the 2 colors out and playing with them is helpful. So let's move to the front. All this filigree-ishness is gonna be a disaster area. I can already tell. I think I'll go in with the light color all over, and then I'll start to blend. Okay, I think I might be ready to blend. So let's do a little spritzy spritz. And I wanna go in with just a titch of the darker yellow. Finesse, finesse. Just remember, we're finessing. Okay, I think I'm ready to blend. So I did bring in a towel to wipe off the harsher, darker yellow. And then I have some of the light on my brush. So we're just gonna lightly feather. The blend on these curves is gonna be the death of me. But you kind of get the gist. This is what I'll be doing for a while. I'll check back in when I'm on the green. How's that sound? Okay, my yellow to yellow gradation is done, and I'm pretty impressed with myself. This yellow is a little deeper than the yellow up here, so this looks more of a line now that I'm looking at it. So I might come back in and try to blend that out a little bit better. What I did learn is water. You want more water than you think. Before I even touch paint, I spray where I'm gonna paint with water. Try to blend that while it's extra wet. And the finessing, pretty good, but yellow to yellow's kind of easy in my mind. Now I'm gonna introduce green. So we're gonna go from a very light yellow to this like lighter green. This gradation makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm very pleased with this right here. I might go finesse that a little bit later, but I also just might leave it. Who knows? But now I have to do the green. I am a little bit nervous. I hope the blend goes smoothly. I'm just gonna water. I am using a ton of water and it is doing some drip marks, but I actually don't mind them. I kind of actually like it, but if the drip marks bothered you, you could just go back in with the kind of a dry brush and blend those out. I see some areas like in here where I might, when all is said and done, because it's a pretty thick brush, get like a smaller brush and like detail blend in. But again, once it's all done and we look at it from a distance, we might not even notice. Let's try to do the light yellow to the light green blend and see what happens there. So I've got my light yellow and my green here, and I've got my towel. Okay, let's do it. I'm just gonna get some light yellow a little bit just to get this bottom portion kind of re-wet again. Kind of lightly like blending it up to the part I had already painted. Spray that again. Dip into a little green. Ooh, I'm nervous, guys, I'm nervous. I'm gonna start a little low, work my way up a little bit. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not awesome. I gotta work that a little better. So I think I'm gonna wipe off some of the green from my brush and then lightly dip back into my light yellow. I'm gonna try to blend that a little bit better. Oh yeah. Oop, I got some on my wall. That's the only problem. A lot of water, a lot of splash marks. So definitely have a towel nearby. Now I'm gonna go back in with some green. I'm gonna try to do that half trick where I have green on the lower portion of my brush and the lighter yellow on the top portion. Ah, yes. That's what we needed. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna wipe that light yellow off at the top of my brush and go full green and hit this bottom and then give it a little squirt. I don't mind it. Let's move on to the trouble spots. Yeah, towel, spray bottle. Handy, very handy. I just feel like the watery it is, the better the blend. You're gonna get a lot of drips, but it'll be worth it in the end, I think. So yeah, let me work on this and then I'll check back in. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, my green to yellow blend is not going that great. I do think I need to get a smaller brush to try to blend. I was using more water, which was just dripping, and so I don't know. I'm gonna let this dry. Then part of me thinks that I need to like have 3 separate brushes for like the final coat. A brush that's like dark yellow, light yellow, then a brush that's light yellow, light green, then a brush that's light green, dark green, so that I can seamlessly like blend the blends in the middle of each. So I don't know. I was so pleased with dark yellow to light yellow, and now I'm not nearly as pleased with light yellow to green. Not at all. I might need to step away for a second. I gotta think. It's all of these like, all these lumps and bumps. Don't worry, we can work through it. It's fine. I'm just gonna step away for a second before I kill myself. We'll come back, don't worry. I'm just gonna step away for like a quick second. Okay, so I just slapped on the last green color. Clearly, I didn't try to blend. I've messed up this entire side. It's like, where's the light yellow? I don't know. So I stepped away and I thought, okay, maybe I need more brushes. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought 3 brushes. They're super cheapy brushes, which is fine by me. I'm just gonna use them to blend paint and then I'll probably throw them in the garbage. And then I got their individual ones that are a little bit nicer. So I got 2 of the wider ones and then I got 2 skinny ones. So I'm hoping that maybe I can like blend. Again, we're finessing. We're just trying. I am just here to here, not this side, front. Here to here. Mwah. I was so pleased. I was like, Sheri, you're the best painter on the planet. Your gradation is beautiful. And then the green just bummed me out, man. And then I was trying to like fix this, and then I messed this whole side up. And anyways, I am still gonna step away for a little minute. I may even step away until tomorrow. I don't know. I put saran wrap on all of my paints and I have them up where I won't knock them over. Gradation's harder than you think. Doing a seamless ombre is not easy. And I was thinking, once I did these 2, I was like, oh, it's so easy. I'm gonna be done with this so fast. No. Part of me is thinking, since it was easier to blend the dark yellow into the light yellow, I'm thinking, I don't want to touch this, if at all possible. So I'm thinking maybe when I'm more zen, I'm going to go in reverse and try to blend the dark green into the light green and then blend the light green and the light yellow together. Maybe that'll help. I don't really know. Again, I'm winging it. I'm finessing it. I just love that this looks so pretty. And then you get your next color on and it's a disaster. And then you step back and you're like, yeah, I should have just done yellow to white. That'd have been a lot easier. I mean, I love the colors. It's just I need to get the blend right. So I am armed with many a paintbrush. So hopefully I can achieve it. Fingers crossed. Okay, so it is the next day and I have postponed painting this as long as possible. I totally binge watched Severance. It's on Apple TV. I highly suggest you watch season 1. I'm just saying. But since season 2 doesn't come out until January, I decided, all right, I guess I better come in here. I have all of my paint containers sitting on the floor next to me. Each paint container has its own paintbrush. Plus, I have special blending brushes for in between the colors. So this is my light green, light yellow blending brush. This is my light green, dark green blending brush. And I worked on this side and I think I have it. What I've been doing is I've been starting with a dry brush of the dark green, and then let's say I take it up to here. Well, then I dry brush the light green down to here to where they meet. Then I take a light spritz of the spray my blending brush, dip into those 2 colors, and then try to blend those out. Now on a flat surface like this, it wasn't too bad. This situation might not be awesome, but I'm gonna give it a shot. If I can make even a little bit of this happen on the front, I'll be happy. Okay, I think I got the hang of it now. I think I have finessed it enough to where, look at that ombre. I'm pretty pleased with it. I only have that one end to do. Then I need to wait for it to dry. I mean, it's pretty much kind of dry. I am noticing because I've worked this paint so much, it is balling up a little bit in some areas. I've been trying to knock them down with the paint brushes. I don't know if it's a combination of me working the paint so much with the cheap brushes from Dollar Tree, but that's the only thing I've noticed is I'm getting little paint balls every now and again, but I can deal with little paint balls if it means I have this gradation. So now that I finally have it all painted, I was toying with a couple of options. So the inspiration photo, she like antiqued it. The way she does it is she just basically takes black paint on like a metal scraper and goes like this in areas. I could do that, but I also purchased some flower stencils. They were on sale at the Joann's. This one's cute. It's like a round floral bouquet. And then this one has separate flower pieces. So I was toying around with the idea of maybe I sponge paint on some floral. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I antique it, maybe I don't. Part of me is like, do you really want to continue to touch this, or should you just wash the handles off, wax the whole thing, put the handles back on, and call it a day? Or do you want to play around with adding some flair, like in a dark chocolate brown? Or actually maybe like the lightest of the yellow might be cute. What do you guys think? This isn't like a live or anything, but what's your vote in the comments below? Should I antique it? Should I put stencils? Should I antique and stencils? Or should I just wax it and leave it alone? Put your vote in now, because the next time you see it, I will have made a decision and it will be done. I know, I'm very excited. Guys, I did it, it's done, and it looks amazing if I do say so myself. Are you ready to see it? Because here it comes. Dun 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 dun! Ooh, look at how good it looks. Now, I mean, my ombre in the front could be a little bit better, but I'm not mad at it. From the sides, look at that ombre. That looks real nice indeed. And if anybody's remembering, yes, I did find this piece on the side of the road for free. So yeah, I did it. Ombre painting. It was tricky. And I was looking back at my inspiration photo and I was like, how did she get hers so good? Well, her drawer fronts were all flat. Yeah, because you really need to go like side to side rather than up and down. And it was kind of difficult to keep the side to side motion going in all of these little intricate details. While I'm not like ecstatic over the ombre on the front, I think it's fine. I mean, I like it. I'm not like exactly thrilled. I wish it would have turned out as good as the ombre on the side, but flat, not flat. I gotta take what I can get, right? But all in all, I think it looks great. And I don't know what you guys voted for, but clearly I didn't do any stencils. I didn't do any of that. I just put the brown wax on, rubbed it off. I did spray the handles. They were black, and I just had some like coppery metal spray because I thought the black looked a little bit too harsh. So I sprayed them this like, you know, kind of a goldy hammered metal. And I think I like it. And I have more storage now, which is very exciting. And which is even more exciting is I got this for free. The sucky part, had I known. So I bought, I guess they're quart size containers of the paint, which you know wasn't cheap. Paint alone cost $100. However, out of all of those cans, I used probably this much. But the bad thing is when you go to like purchase a sample, you know how they give you those little sample jars that are like this big and you pay like $5 for them? They don't let you say like, can I have a sample of chalk paint? I think it's like satin finish, that's all you get. So the sucky thing is I purchased all that paint and I used about this much of each one of those quarts. So I have a lot of paint left over for future projects, but I probably used $10 worth of paint total. But I got a nice look, so I do like that. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my last few videos, this video, the skirt video, the telephone desk video, I came into those videos saying, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. I've never refurbished a piece of furniture before. I thought I'd give it a try with that telephone desk. And look at that, it came out gorgeous. Never sewed a wrap skirt before. Thought I'd give it a shot. And look at that, it's the cutest damn skirt I've ever seen in my life. This, never ombre painted before in my life. Thought I'd give it a shot, and look. I have a whole new piece of furniture. The theme of these last 3 videos is, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give it a try. And it all seemed to work out. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I'm telling you, the comments that you guys give me, which I love, that are like, you're amazing, you can do it all, you're this, true. It's all true. But it's also true for you guys. You just have to give it a try. I am no different than you, except for the fact that I am just not fearful when it comes to giving stuff a try. So I don't want you guys to be fearful either. If this didn't turn out, I would have just painted it a solid color with one of the quartz that I bought and called it a day. And you could do the same thing too. It's not difficult. Just don't be afraid to give something a try. If you've never done it before, it shouldn't stop you. This was free. I got it for free. And look how amazing it is. Just because I thought I'd give it a try. Brand new skirt, giving it a try. And it turned out great. I fully believe that anything you put your mind to, you can do. And if it doesn't really work out, just paint over it for Pete's sakes. So yeah, that's my soapbox speech for all of you that are too nervous to give something a try. Just do it. I mean, you could end up with something really amazing like this. Or worst case scenario, you just put it back on the side of the road and have somebody else deal with it. So that said, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the DIY Wednesday videos I push out, which is every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.